Howdy, folks. Well, if you're a football fan like yours truly, I'm sure that when you tuned in to watch Sunday Night Football this past weekend, you were treated to the rather rude shock of watching a veteran broadcaster lecture you at halftime about gun control. The event sparked outrage, and, well, it should have, because Mr. Bob Costas used a very inappropriate arena to discuss such a topic. Mr. Bob Costas has every right to hold certain opinions and to voice those opinions in certain areas, but the area where he chose to express them this past weekend was one of the worst that he could have chosen. It was a nationally televised Sunday night football game with millions of Americans watching. Well, what is so wrong about expressing your opinions about such a hot-button issue as gun control on a nationally televised sporting event? Well, we'll go into that just briefly here. There are certain arenas where certain topics should not be discussed. For example, you do not discuss medical dissections at a dinner table or over a Thanksgiving dinner. The reason for that should be obvious. In that same light, you should not discuss politics on a nationally televised sporting event. Why is this? Well, Americans, unfortunately, have to deal with politics every day of their life, every work day at least. And it's politics of many different levels, whether it's national politics, local politics, or workplace politics. I know, I'm a working man. I have to deal with all three of these sometimes in a single day. So, oftentimes when people turn to watch televised sporting events, they're doing so to take their minds off such things, to take a break from it, because politics can be a very maddening thing. So, because it's so maddening and because it's so stressful, people need time to unstress and enjoy themselves at something else. And televised sporting events provides them one of these outlets. That's why televised sports, such as pro basketball, pro football, and the like, are so popular. It's because people know that they can go and watch them and not have to worry about politics or problems in the workplace. By bringing a hot-button issue like gun control into a halftime program of a nationally televised Sunday night football game, Bob Costas has violated the trust of millions of Americans. This is the reason that Mr. Bob Costas should be reprimanded. Not because he expressed his opinions, but because he expressed his opinions in an arena that was inappropriate. To recoup from this public relations nightmare, it would probably be in the best interest of NBC and Mr. Costas if he were to remove himself from the broadcasting crew of Sunday Night Football and to distance himself from the National Football League at least until the 2012-2013 season is over, and then return for the 2013-2014 season. That way, the uproar will have cooled by then, and people may be able to look at Sunday Night Football again without thinking of the political lecture that Bob Costas gave this past weekend. With liberal enthusiasm riding high after the results of November 6th, some people are speculating that we will see more events like this and more putting liberal stances in the faces of millions of Americans on events like this. I would say it's a little premature to say that, but we will see. If it does become reality, then the boycott of the NFL that many have been calling for as a result of this public relations nightmare could become a very viable alternative, sadly.